Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take another look here at GMT. Got a lot of requests and I can see why. It just took off here a couple of hours ago and we're going to kind of see if this can maintain itself. We're going to look at some key level supports, resistances, and the whole 9 yards to make sure we understand best practice and big picture. That being said, not a financial advisor. I do love teaching people how to trade. I hope you can learn something here today. And my goal and my passion is to help you become a better trader. Trading over 15 years and I love financial independence. It's a really nice thing, and I think it's very achievable in crypto as long as you have kind of a level head. That being said, I have a trading community, academy, and signal group if you'd like to consider joining. Link in the description below. CryptoCache.tech is the website if you want to learn more. That being said, taking a look here at GMT, some obvious stuff we want to touch on. First of all, kind of just take you through a little history. We came up here to test a new all-time high at about $3.11, came down to complete this cup, and did not bother to even try through a handle. It essentially just continued higher and came back down and used that previous resistance as a support level. It's a very common rinse and repeat type of situation you'll see in trading, whereas that new previous high is essentially the new current low, if that makes sense. At least likely. It has to be tested and rejected, of course. We'll see if that's happening right now in the shorter time frames. Generally speaking, I drew this line here just a moment ago to kind of signify the one-day candlestick close at 371. And of course, we've got the all-time high here previous to today at 385. So a close between those two areas would be great, preferably above 371, so we can have a one-day candlestick close higher, giving us a higher high, if that makes sense, okay? So that's a good positive thing there. But again, all good stuff here, but the 50-day SMA just surfaced here, so we got basically, today's must be the 50th day of trading, and that basically just implies that we're well above that average, and that's a good thing. We're also over 70 on the RSI, which is equally as important, because that can work as a resistance level that was holding the price action down here recently, but now that we're above that, should effectively work as a potential support. That being said, we can close above 371, we'll be in perfect shape to be able to see that close above 70 on the RSI. We've also got a MACD converging here, so to speak. While this candlestick hasn't closed yet, it looks like it wants to cross, basically giving us a buy signal to go long. That's essentially what it's telling us. Of course, we want to look at a few other factors as well. And I would recommend, again, just general advice is to not invest everything into a specific coin. Use a small percentage of your portfolio on this coin, but of course consider adding to your position because it does look like it wants to continue higher. That's essentially what it looks like here to me. That being said, we can see the 50-day SMA working its way up here, working as a support level almost the entire time. Both times it was tested, just like this ascending trend line, it was also rejected to the upside and continued further. So that's a great sign here. It kind of shows us that 50-day SMA is working as a strong support. If it were to come back down and retest that, it could very well hold. Looking at the RSI here on the 4-hour, I like that it's calming down and retracing a little bit right now because it's not pushing it up over 70. When you have an RSI over 70, it's not necessarily a bad thing on the 4-hour time frame, but it does kind of lead to a potential decrease in price. Now, right here is where the RSI peaked up over 70. So obviously you don't want to just sell as soon as the RSI comes above. In fact, watch my RSI video that I have kind of teaching you how to use that effectively. The key is to sell your position when it's on a downtrend, more so referring to the RSI versus the uptrend. What I mean by that is if you take this point here, obviously I've already marked that, that's when the RSI crossed over 70. But if you look when it crossed to the downside, right about here at this point, it was right at this candle here. You're much better off selling higher than you are lower, right? So try not to just do a premature sell because you see RSI up over 70. That's not necessarily a good practice. It's usually best to wait for it to come back down. Regardless of that fact, it kind of jumped up and jumped down, so we shouldn't worry too much about 70 on the RSI here, but it is overextended nonetheless. That's kind of the bottom line here. Taking a quick look at TD sequential, let's just double check. We got a bunch of resets. We're up to a 2 right now. So potential for 7 more days of continuation. Not saying that it's going to happen. It's not going to shoot up, this much percent. We're not going to see a 68% increase once again. But if we were to, I wouldn't put it past it. It definitely has an opportunity to be able to potentially do that. In other words, this momentous trend could be very, very powerful based on the simple fact that, Bitcoin dominance is coming down a little bit. And of course, money is coming back into some altcoins. And this one seems to be getting a lot of the volume as well as ApeCoin as well. That's which I covered that one earlier today. So, it's good stuff here in that sense with GMT. I really like the 4-hour time frame. It's looking pretty good. And let's go and take a look at the 1 hour and get kind of perspective here on where we're at. So first of all, we're about 5 hours into this push to the upside. We have 3 or 4 more hours left potentially for the price to come up. But what we want to do is the price to consolidate somewhere in the range that it's at right now. It'd be fantastic if it did, give us a nice reset, so if it legs up again, it gets that stable foundation. And what I mean by stable foundation is if you see back here when the price came up, got overextended at 70 on the RSI, came back down, it relaxed here, spent a lot of time here at the previous all-time high, therefore creating a strong volume support. If we see look at the amount of volume in this channel, if we can create that realm of volume here again, then the next leg up will be equally as powerful. And these are the good healthy staircase patterns that I like to look for, and all in all this is exuding pretty darn good qualities here at the moment. And I would venture to guess we're above the cloud, which we are of course, but it was traveling kind of in between. So now that we have a kind of a clean break above, it kind of is telling us that it wants to continue, but we want to pay attention to see the price breaks below 371. If we can get a close above 371 today, I think we're going to be in a pretty good shape to be able to see more continuation on the upside, but it really just depends on how much we get here. We want to average the price out a little bit lower. In other words, between 370 and 380 would be nice to kind of see the price hang out for a while and then leg up again, because these momentous push can result in a downtrend too if you're not careful. And just to kind of prepare you for that, worst case scenario, so you understand, if you were to kind of draw out Fibonacci retracement levels and kind of take a look at the current, this little push here, this last 8 hours, Fibonacci is going to tell us that usually at 0.5, which is this halfway point, $3.60, would be in most cases, the worst case scenario. So we shouldn't expect a price point any lower than 360, but I would say 372 would be ultimately the best place to consolidate and then leg up again from there. So all in all, GMT looks like it still wants to continue higher. So I would venture to guess that we're going to see a lot more from this, and we're going to go ahead and reevaluate this again soon. We'll keep a close eye on it, and I'll draw out some new Fibonacci retracement levels. We'll go ahead and see what the potential is for this here. But the next major key level resistance would be $4.20. So hypothetically, 418 and 419 would be a good target, good profit target, to ensure that you get filled and you don't get rejected at a specific price point. All right, again, just some things to kind of think about. So, big picture, looking very, very good here for GMT. And then, as far as the overall sense of the way things are right now, it's absolutely overextended compared to where it's come from before, and it's staying above 70 almost the entire time. So we got to recognize that eventually this is going to hit its limit, and it will eventually sell off. Okay, so I just want to kind of prepare you for that. This doesn't happen forever, even though this is a very good quality. In the sense of the technical analysis, I want you to be prepared in the sense that you shouldn't necessarily be holding on to something like this super long. And I only say that just because it doesn't have a strong established track record on. That's the only reason why I'm saying that. Again, not a lot of trading data here so far to anticipate the long-term big picture. Am I saying it's not going to go up any further? No. Am I saying it's going to crash tomorrow? Also no. I just like to kind of prepare you. Friendly advice that this is a highly profitable coin right now. There's very few coins like that in the market. If Bitcoin decides it wants to sell off, we could anticipate or expect a sell-off from GMT as well, right? Because again, the most profitable coins, the coins that are making money for these whales that are investing in the market, which I'll let you know, this is not you and I. We don't drive the price up this high and this fast. That is somebody that has a lot of money that can invest in this coin. So just keep in mind that person that put in this much is likely to take out that much too. All right? Just some friendly advice, big picture, help you understand that this may not stay forever, but it's also looking very good and likely wants to continue higher. So go figure, right? That being said, I hope you learned something here today. Thanks again for joining. Appreciate you listening and hopefully learning. If you want to become a better trader, again, CryptoCache.tech is a site, link in the description below. I look forward to getting to know you better. Have a great rest of your day.